The history of Yu-Gi-Oh's worst stereotype. Let's watch. Crispy news, still more reliable than Fox.
So, in other news, an Oregon store suspended their Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments for like a couple of weeks due to hygiene concerns, and why am I not even surprised? Like many of you, I saw this making its rounds the other week, and I laughed at it like, haha, stinky Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Dude, the production quality in this is crazy. Like, how do you generate this? Like how do you do it? Or what is it?
But I mean, this isn't like a new story, right? I mean, back in 2019, Konami implemented the hygiene policy to combat this very thing. And then this led to games like Pokemon implementing their own hygiene policies in 2023. Oh, even Old Spice introduced the gentleman's class into D&D.
What is this? What am I looking at? Gentleman's class?
To try to promote players to at least not smell like a burning tire. But this all got me thinking, how did we even get here? What's the origin of this stinky gamer stereotype?
We're talking about stinky gamers? Like, it makes sense, I guess. Like, it just makes sense that someone who is like to focus on the game, right? Because gamers are known for being passionate about what they care about, right? So they kind of don't like this. I'm talking about the stereotype, right? The stereotype is like, oh yeah, they only care about the game. They don't care about anything else, so they don't take care of themselves. Yeah, that makes sense as a stereotype. But what I'm thinking about is that, yeah, you can translate it to any hobby, and card games make perfect sense. But why Yu-Gi-Oh in particular? Why is Yu-Gi-Oh in particular? That's what I want to know. I hope we get into that. The history of gaming's worst stereotype instead of specifically Yu-Gi-Oh. No, I'm pretty sure we're gonna come from Yu-Gi-Oh and from gaming and then into Yu-Gi-Oh. I feel like that's what we're gonna see.
I promise you, this ends up actually being a really interesting story.
Really?
So to figure out why so many people associate Yu-Gi-Oh with the smell of crapped ass, we need to go back in time to 1974 and look at the...
Did you say 1974? Jesus.
origin of the stinky gamer stereotype when Dungeons & Dragons was released. For those very few of you who are watching this and don't know what Dungeons & Dragons is, this is a game that combined the rules of miniatures with fantasy literature like Lord of the Rings. But instead of controlling entire armies like miniature games before it, Dungeons & Dragons had the players control one character and had them go through scenarios guided by the Dungeon Master.
It's LARPing. It's literally LARPing. I know, it's crazy, right? You LARP as a fantasy character. Yeah, that's a joke.
And this game has a much greater focus on the use of creativity and imagination over pretty much anything else. And while it started out as a niche hobby, by the 1980s, Dungeons & Dragons blew up. But with the rise of Dungeons & Dragons also came the rise of a cultural phenomenon that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of before.
Dude, I love this. I love this. This was a plot of Stranger Things season 4, I think.
The Satanic Panic. This movement was essentially considered to be the modern-day version of the Salem witch trials. This was a movement led by conservatives at the time, sensationalist media, and religious groups to try to portray the game and its players as devil worshippers, practicing of witchcraft, or violent. And because...
Okay, I understand. I can see how that relates specifically to Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Because in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like, oh yeah, I summon. What's the craziest name for the OG cards that I can think of? Like, I don't know. There wasn't a card that. Whatever. You know what I mean, right? I summon something, right? It also happened to Pokemon. Yeah, but Pokemon is like so cute. Like, you can tell, right, that those are like just like animals in their own world. But here, have you looked at Summon Skull? Have you seen Summon Skull? Right? That do you understand what I mean, right? People all the parents will be like, oh yeah, no, that's messed up. What do you mean you're summon like fiends and demons and stuff? Yeah. Hello, that someone has to live under a rock for them to not know what D&D is. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't know, like regular people wouldn't know. Or at least they heard about it, but they don't know what it is exactly. Yeah. What does it happen to Pokemon? Yeah, but Pokemon is... I feel like Pokemon is not... doesn't make sense that it did. Yeah. Archfiend Skull? Yeah. Doesn't Yu-Gi-Oh have angels? Yeah, but nobody cares, right? They don't think about, yeah, they also have angels. Like, it's still weird, right? It's still like, what's it called? Heresy? Or whatever. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Critics struggle to understand the mechanics and concepts of Dungeons and Dragons, while it also being the 1980s, so you couldn't just Google, "Is the news lying to me?" Fans of Dungeons
Well, you
and
also
Dragons
cannot do
were
that
portrayed
now.
as outsiders and rejected from mainstream society. And this forced players to take their hobby into private spaces, like basements, or risk being portrayed as a Satan worshiper by the public eye, which at the time could legitimately affect your ability to get a job, get accepted into college, go into public spaces. Hell, this could even land you
Well, this is already what I struggle with. I don't know what to tell you.
court date and a conviction on a crime they called satanic ritual abuse. This persecution of people who played Dungeons and Dragons or listened to metal music is what created the Basement Dweller. You see, Dungeons and Dragons is a marathon game where some sessions can take days to complete. And because of the social and sometimes even legal backlash, players often found themselves spending hours in tight, unventilated spaces like basements in order to play the game. Or players would be hidden in the back rooms of comic shops because the owners just didn't want the social backlash of having D&D players in the store.
I've never thought about the basement itself because in my country, and I assume in most South American countries at least, there is no basements. Like, basements aren't a thing. I mean, there are, some people have basements, but it's not that common. I feel like it's not that common. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know, chat, if in the comments, if your country has basements. Like, if it's common, if it's a common thing to have a basement in your country, right? Here, I feel like it's not that common. I don't remember ever seeing one. I think I've seen one probably maybe twice. I have a memory of the idea of a basement. No, we had a basement at work because there was a library in the basement. That's the only thing I've been in the basement. In an actual basement because it was something for the job. So I don't think that counts. Other than that, only for big buildings that have like what is it called? Like oh my god, I'm like parking. I don't know what it's called. Holy, I'm forgetting my English. They did it. It happens again. It happened again. I think every house in my state that's more than one floor has a basement. See, that's not a common thing. Concrete floors is most of Latin America. Yeah. Does America have large amount of basements? I never really been in one. Well, I don't know. That's what I heard. We'll see.
But after spending tens of hours in these tight, unventilated spaces, you can imagine when they came out of these spaces, they were very smelly and sweaty. And because of this, this created the stereotype that these kind of D&D gamers are smelly and stinky people. And you better believe that the media groups that were perpetuating the satanic panic jumped all over this as a way to identify these people, as well as continue to villainize the group and its fans. And this unkempt image was aggressively pushed into the media until it became a full societal stereotype with the release of the 1984 comedy Revenge of the Nerds. This film featured characters like Booger, who was portrayed as dirty and lacking personal hygiene. And overnight, this film changed society's image of what a nerd was, from a square pencil-pushing person to an abhorrent abomination of nature that's repulsive in every way you can think of. And it wasn't until
you know how this has evolved. I feel like right now it's more related to like incel culture when you try to villainize it, which, yeah, I guess.
1992, when FBI agent Kenneth Lanning decided to do a multi-year investigation into the thousands of satanic ritual allegations. And he concluded that there was zero evidence of any organized underground satanic conspiracy,
you think so?
which stripped the movement of its law enforcement credibility. Thanks to the hard work of Agent Lanning, wrongful convictions like the case of the West Memphis 3 were finally exposed, and people who enjoyed this hobby could enjoy it a little more peacefully now. And look, in the case of the West Memphis 3, these guys didn't get released until 2011. These are legitimate lives that were ruined by
Excuse
the
me?
satanic panic because they were wrongly convicted of a satanic ritual abuse for enjoying metal music. And it's an example of why it was so important to actually take these hobbies underground. There was real consequences to playing Dungeons and Dragons back then. But while these players no longer had to hide their hobby from the world anymore,
Really, gamers are the most oppressed minority. That's so true, so true.
the social damage was already done. And moving into the 1990s, the stereotype of the stinky gamer only got stronger as the community grew larger. Piggybacking off the success of Dungeons & Dragons, in 1993 Wizards of the Coast published Magic: The Gathering. And love it or hate it, this game did spark all of the card games that we love to play today. But with the publisher's name,
I was
also
expecting a
came the
joke title there.
stereotype of this stinky gamer. And the way that these events were handled wasn't really helping their case, with Magic first debuting at Gen Con. In fact, conventions in general were seeing a massive rise in popularity.
Well, but aren't conventions in general sweaty? If like for everyone, right? It makes sense. Like everyone, I've never been to one, but it just looks sweaty in general.
With events like the San Diego Comic-Con going from 1 to 200 attendees in the 1970s to thousands of participants by the time it moved into the San Diego Convention Center in 1991. And since early conventions and sometimes even modern conventions lacked proper AC or even open windows while drawing in massive crowds of people, this gave birth to what people coined as con funk. And if you've ever been to a YCS, an anime convention, or a Comic-Con, you know that con funk smell. The heavy ambient scent of body odor that plagues the halls of the convention center. Very reminiscent of a high school locker room. And because of these long travel times and these strict time windows to actually sign up for the panels and tournaments, as well as there being limited space, intense hobbyists would end up skipping hotel showers to make sure that they actually got to the event that they traveled so far for. And because of this is when the stinky gamer stereotype started to become a running joke within the fandoms themselves, transcending the stereotype one step further from a stereotype that was used to villainize the hobbyist to a stereotype that's now used by the hobbyists
Oh
themselves.
my god! Please tell me that's not real! Oh my god! Please tell me that's not real. I don't want to go back. I don't want to see it again. I just want to delete that from my memory. Holy no!
Thousands, this stereotype only intensified with the boom of organized play, and it still remains a major talking point in games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic to this day. And to be honest with you, if you shove 2,000 people in a single convention center room for 10 to 12 hours a day, it's gonna start to smell a little funky. That's just unavoidable. But with the rise of internet culture, online forums gave people a place to actually vent about this con funk, turning what was a localized joke between con-goers into an internet-wide meme. And
I'm sorry, I cannot move on. I'm sorry, I cannot move on. I close my eyes, I blink, and I see it again. I need to take a shower. I feel like I need to take a shower. I don't know. Oh my god.
Globally viral moments like the infamous 2024 Grand Prix Richmond crack blog post just kind of solidified this idea of the stinky gamer stereotype. This is such an infamous moment that I don't even have to show you the picture. I can just do the pose and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
See what I mean?
The pose is so good. I need fan art of me like this. It would be so funny. I would probably have to do it myself. But yeah, this is so good. It's so iconic. It's so iconic. Like I understand. I understand. This I understand. I don't mind. The other one I do, because that means that it wasn't clean. Like, this is an unfortunate thing, right? It doesn't matter. Sometimes it just happens. Yeah.
And due to concerns of stinky gamers, mostly from the owners of the venues that hosted these events, Konami was the first TCG to actually introduce a hygiene policy directly into their policy documents in 2019. And this requires players to wear clean clothing and be clean, or risk being penalized or even disqualified and trespassed from the tournament ground.
Judge, my opponent is smelly. Judge, my opponent is smelly. I don't know. Is that a what do we proceed from here?
grounds. And this policy change blew up on the internet. It was reaching people who haven't even heard the word Yu-Gi-Oh in like 20 years.
Oh no.
And this is when the association of Stinky Gamer became strongly attached to Yu-Gi-Oh, creating the Stinky Yu-Gi-Oh player stereotype. Because to a lot of people, the fact that Konami had to codify basic human hygiene into the official rulebook itself was just proof enough that these
I miss the memes. We were like the whole video without memes. It was actual information, like actual relevant stuff to it, and then we just got into the memes, like half the video.
Yu-Gi-Oh players are nasty. It was a confirmation of the stereotype and made the association that Yu-Gi-Oh players are stinky. And this policy change remains a talking point to this day, even being cited by Chronos Games and Gifts as their backing reasons for why they suspended the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments for a couple of weeks. And this viral moment wasn't even that long ago, which leaves us with one burning question. Why is this still a problem in 2026? There isn't this systematic oppression of gamers anymore. You don't have to hide in your basement anymore or risk being charged with satanic ritual abuse. Now that these modern day Salem witch trials are over and gaming is more accepted into mainstream society, why does this bad hygiene trope still persist? And from here, it's pure speculation. I'm just gonna throw some theories out there. And if you told me that the first time I was gonna use my behavioral psychology degree outside of college was gonna be for a video essay on stinky Yu-Gi-Oh players, I would have switched majors. Anyway, my first theory is an idea called stereotype threat, coined by Dr. Claude Steele, which is a badass name.
I'm sorry, but what do you mean psychology? And then the previous video you were talking about like plants, like all like super well known about, and now next video is gonna be like something about like law, right? It's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna review like this guy is like a lawyer in the next one. This is the best name ever. I mean, it's a really cool name, yeah, I guess so.
Simply, this is the idea that if you're aware of a negative stereotype of a group that you're a part of, that anxiety can inadvertently cause you to fulfill the stereotype. This goes hand in hand with self-fulfilling prophecies and labeling theory. Society has created an image of what a gamer looks like, so people act in accordance with that label. And it might seem easy to just tell someone to not act like the stereotype, but there's plenty of studies that show how dangerous stereotype threat is to human behavior. This
Yeah, I'm a behavioral psychology major that grew up on a farm. I have a weird backstory. Yeah. And you made a video about your backstory, but you missed those two things, I think.
Steele and Aronson study of 1995, which is the study that actually coined the term stereotype threats, the Spencer, Steele, and Quinn study of 1999, and the Pygmalion in the Classroom study of 1968, which showcased...
Wait, what is this? Hold on. Others' expectations about us influence their behavior towards us. Others' expectations towards us influence their behavior towards us. Okay. Their behavior towards us influences how we see ourselves. How we see ourselves impacts our own behavior. Our behavior towards others influences their belief, reinforcing their expectations. Oh yeah. I see. I understand now.
Of 1968, which showcased the power of positive labels and expectations, with the opposite of this being the Golem effect, where negative labels...
What the hell is that Golem effect? Eternal limiting beliefs, low self-belief, low performance, failure, self-perception. Oh my god, this is me. Oh my god, this is me. I can't. I'm in this picture and I don't like it. Always when they are saying number of days on English, I always expect any moment can appear at the byte of 87. The hell?
Labels and expectations drive down an individual's performance. It's basically the idea that an individual is going to internalize those labels.
No, the self-fulfilling prophecy. All right, that's the thing. Yeah, that's what people always say about me. Awesome.
Because society
which also reinforces
decided who they are. But these are some of the most famous case studies of how labels and expectations can actually alter a person's performance, and if you have more interest in it, I strongly recommend looking them up. My next theory kind of comes down to basically correlation is not causation. Because I don't know about you, but it's hard being an adult in 2026.
Yeah?
Mental health disorders are currently at an all-time high in recorded human history. According to the World Health Organization, mental health affects 1.2 billion people worldwide.
Yeah.
Struggling with conditions like depression and anxiety can cause executive dysfunction, making regular personal upkeep feel like an incredibly difficult task. To anyone who hasn't experienced this, executive dysfunction isn't just being lazy. It's a literal neurological traffic jam where your brain cannot sequence the steps to start even a simple task like
Okay,
taking
no,
a-
okay. I mean, he's the psychology major, right? But I feel like a lot of people just use this as an excuse. I'm sorry. Cancel me. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people just use this as an excuse. It's just like, grow up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to say it because I'm done with this. So I heard a lot about this from some people, and I'm like, no, stop. And then, like, some use their zodiac sign as an excuse. It really seems like that. I know, like, zodiac signs are not a thing. Like, that is not a real thing. And this has, like, obviously value. But a lot of people just like to pretend that they have it. They haven't been diagnosed, right? They just say that just to excuse their behavior. Yeah, I know. Just a vibe that I get from some people.
where your brain cannot sequence the steps to start even a simple task like taking a shower. And one of the best ways to regulate mental health like this is really having a strong social network of friends and family. It greatly reduces an individual's risk of depression and anxiety, while also increasing their resilience to stress. But unfortunately, I know a lot of people in the card gaming world whose only social outlet is being able to go to their local game store once or twice a week. And while these
Wait. I need to see that again.
outlet is being able to go to their local game store
Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals be like... What is going on here? Oof. I guess this one is me. Like, if I have to see, like, which will be me, I guess I will be like Kevin here, right? That's his name, right? Kevin? Blaine is the anime girl. No, this is my sister. Like, is this one-to-one my sister? Why is there Vegeta? Vegeta? Is this not Goku? Is there a Vegeta? But, like, also mental health issues are real, and it's unfair people who struggle with it to be told this is an excuse. Okay, that is not what I said. That's not what I said. Obviously, it's a real thing, and a lot of people have it. And obviously, it's like when they have it, it's like a serious thing. But a lot of people just like to pretend that they have it, and they haven't been diagnosed. If you have been diagnosed, then, like, oh yeah, it's a serious thing, right? And we should take like it as I don't know what the words to say, but you know what I mean, right? But some people don't have it, and they just excuse. That's what I said. Not that nobody has it, and it's a made up thing. That's not what I'm saying. Obviously, I probably am the one with the backpack if I go to Carbo Locals. I guess can you just get the this guy, but with the backpack, and that's probably me. Yeah, that makes sense.
or once or twice a week.
I'm the one eating glue. Oh my god.
And while these hobbies are much more accepted in this day and age, there's still the social ramifications of the satanic panic. People still cast this shadow over the title of gamer, where you're seen as this unkempt and lazy person. And this creates subgroups in society who won't interact with you purely based on that title alone. And to me, this kind of social isolation increases the amount of people who suffer from depression and anxiety within the card gaming space. It's not the game making them stinky, but instead the depression and the anxiety that they're suffering from that's hindering their ability to keep up with basic hygiene. If this sounds like you or someone you know, I strongly recommend seeking professional help. There's absolutely no shame in it, and you deserve to be living the happiest and the healthiest version of your life possible. But if this doesn't sound like you or someone you know, then my final theory is just Some people are maybe nasty and need to clean their crusty fucking assholes. Remember, people, when you wipe front to back.
What the hell am I? What? What? That's my goat right there. That's my goat right there. Oh my god, I love that.
Wiping back to front is how you end up with a poopy ballsack and end up smelling like a burning tire. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider liking or subscribing. It goes a long way to help small creators like me, and I just couldn't thank you guys enough. Oh, and speaking of crusty assholes, before you go, TCG Player was crazy enough to give me an affiliate link.
Oh my
and
god.
It would take a miracle for me transitioning crusty assholes to TCG Player to result in even a single person using the link. But hey, you never know. Using the link costs nothing, and it's supposed
You need
to
to use a link, Chad. You need this transition about crusty assholes to be worth something. you need to do it.
Links in the description below. And as always, thank you to my channel members. These guys are fucking awesome.
Goats.
And I hope you guys have a beautiful and a wonderful day. Love y'all. Bye.
Well, honestly, I feel like I've learned a lot in this video. That was awesome. That was awesome. So yeah, as always, go follow or subscribe and like the video. Crispy Applesauce, amazing creator. Yeah, not only, I'm not saying that just because he's in the chat right now. But yeah, anyways, remember, clean your asses. Yeah, of course. Clap.